What's happening, boys? Well, good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Back at it.
Back at it, indeed, Kev. First competitive game of the season under our belts. First competitive podcast of the season. En route. We've had a good pre-season. We've been, well, I don't know what have we been up to, Tam. What have you been doing in pre-season?
What have I been doing? Getting sunburnt.
I'll try to grow a moustache.
Try to grow a moustache. I dry can. I missed the game due to injury and suspension yesterday. No, I was at a wedding.
Happens to the best of us.
but I'm looking forward to hearing how we got on, because as much as I've seen the highlights, they weren't. It just seemed to be loads of goals, so that sounded class.
Hundreds and hundreds of goals.
Hundreds and hundreds of goals. That's it.
Kev, what have you been doing for pre-season?
Bit the same as everybody else, probably. Eating too much, drinking too much, moaning about everything, and can't wait for the season to get started. But we know perfectly well that we'll be back to moaning about something very, very soon.
Your Wi-Fi being one? What the hell? What just happened to your... You got a wireless headset or something? You just went
literally headset.
Really quiet and then back to normal.
More likely the headset rather than the actual Wi-Fi, you know.
I don't know, Kev. You seem to always blame the Wi-Fi, but must be user error at some point here.
Yeah, okay. Kind of keep going into a new season with that joke still going like.
Although it was you that was having problems with your internet last week, Corbett.
It was Ando. That's why we've ditched Ando. We free transferred Ando out. What a streamlined squad for the new season. Nice slavers. So Ando got free transferred out.
Brilliant.
Cool. Right, well, Sunday night we played Dunfermline Athletic yesterday at Tynecastle in the first competitive game of the Premier Sports Cup League Cup group stage football. We'll talk about all things yesterday. We will look forward to, we play Hamilton Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday.
We play them not in Hamilton. We play them where Clyde play for some strange reason, because Scottish football is Scottish football, and why wouldn't you have some banter chucked in there? And then we play away to Stirling Albion again on the Saturday before finishing the group stages at home to Dumbarton before we play Sunderland and Craig Gordon's testimonial before the season opener against Aberdeen on the Monday night live on TV. And we can talk about transfers, ins and outs, talk about the debutants yesterday. It was obviously our first opportunity to talk Del McInnes as well, talk about his outfit. He was looking sharp. We went for that absolute tramp Critchley on the touchline to a guy with attitude, a bit of swagger. That was good to see. I enjoyed it. His counterpart in the opposite dugout, a wee fat fried white pudding with a wee stupid hat on and 14 layers with his wee ginger freckly skin and his yellow teeth, greeting his eyes out. We'll talk about that mutant as well. And then just anything else. Sound good?
Sounds right up my street.
The big question is, Corbett, after, obviously, what was it, 29, 30 degrees, how many jackets did you have on?
We'll see. You play it strategically. So I wore shorts and t-shirt to all of Liam Fox's games, so that I knew that I could wear shorts and t-shirt to the opening game. So now we have an actual manager. Heart of Midlothian Football Club's success no longer revolves around what outfits Corbett wears to Hearts games. So superstition will be out of the window. Although I was wearing the same outfit that I wore to the last Hearts game that I attended, which was Kilmarnock on the last game of the season. But that was just coincidence, I promise. How actual roasting was it yesterday? It was actual mental.
Brilliant though, wasn't it? Let's be truthfully honest. What would you rather do? Go to the football, shorts, t-shirt, get a bit of a tan, maybe for some people, get burnt to a crisp, or wear 14 different layers, 3 pairs of socks, and the jacket that's ready to take you to the Antarctic? I know what I would prefer. And yesterday would be the answer.
I won't lie to you, Kev. I didn't like the heat.
No, you are joking me.
I like it, but I didn't want to do stuff in it. Like, I didn't want to live my life in it. You know, on holiday's fine, but I didn't want to actually have to go to my work. We work in a glass building, Kev. We work in a greenhouse. Friday, I was
Tell me about
actually
it, mate.
sweltering at work. It was embarrassing. I looked like Alan Brazil on a Tuesday morning. I was like cherry tomato bright red, man. It was unreal.
It's ready to explode.
You know what was random? I never seen a single Dunfermline fan wearing the Dunfermline top that they were wearing yesterday. Everybody
they
had
actually
random...
they only released it the day before the game.
All right, is that why?
Yes.
I was thinking, what is going on? Why is nobody wearing the actual kit that Dunfermline were wearing? It was so strange.
We shouldn't be saying anything about kits, given the news that came out for yesterday's game of some Rangers fan or guy sitting with a Hearts baseball cap on in a Rangers trip. What's that all about?
I know. I seen it yesterday.
Crazy.
Very strange. Very strange behaviour, but
it's pre-season, isn't it, mate?
It's pre-season, mate. It's pre-season. If we can get our banter out in the pre-season, we'll be fine. We can build up to being a proper team again when we kick off in August. Right, where we want to start? With any transfer news, I think we've got 2 incoming pretty much signed, sealed and delivered. It's just a case of when we announced them. I think then I kind of said yesterday after the game that they probably won't feature Tuesday because of visas. Do we know we'll get the guy that's absolutely ripping it up in the Estonian league, and then another winger? Have any thoughts on it after yesterday's game, Kev? Are they much needed, or what's your views?
I don't know if they're much needed. They're an unknown quantity. In all honesty, but what it did show yesterday was that the way McInnes wants to play is he wants to use like Milne, and don't even ask me for the boy's name, the one Norwegian boy, but let's just call him Borg. Makes it easier for me, and I'm not having anybody then calling me out for actually murdering his actual surname, so we'll leave it at that. But he does want to use width, pace. So from that side of things, we already know that we've never really had a great amount of pace in the wide places, in the positions. So from that point of view, I'm interested to see what they're like. My only concern is that's another 2 onto what is already a growing sort of squad list. Appreciate there will be a number of people probably leaving over the next 4 or 5 weeks until the end of August, but at this moment in time, given the way that McInnes wants to play, I would have to say yes, they are required, because we don't have that kind of player at this moment in time. But as I say, unknown quantities. We need to wait and see what they're like actually on the pitch.
Yep. Tam, who do you have on your radar as potentially going out the door?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because what's the squad at? It's probably nearer 40 than it is 30 anyway, at the moment, which is mad. So I think you probably look at the likes of Danda. I would have said Alan Forrest, but at the same time, he started yesterday, and as a squad player, he's probably in and around it. You probably see the likes of Denham, Forrester maybe go out on loan to them, and trying to think who else do we have. I would imagine one of the centre mids might go as well. I don't know who you would be best if it's a case of cashing out on a Devlin, a Benny, or a Neuenhoff, but it might be one of them that goes as well.
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes over the next few weeks. Obviously, I think since the last time we podcast, we've sold James Penrice. I don't know if we actually spoke about that on the last pod, because it was quite a quick turnaround. So obviously
we
we've
didn't.
lost James Penrice, but that's the absolute, like, if you could draw a picture of what Jamestown is and what the Tony Bloom model's going to be, that's it. Bring someone in, a free transfer, and sell them for $2.5 million a season later. That's exactly what the club is going to look to do. It's a good opportunity to say he doesn't listen to this pod and won't give a fuck, but thanks to James Penrice, because he was class in a very, very, very dismal season last season. And the good news is that Harry Milne looks like a very capable backup. I liked Harry Milne's interview after the game yesterday, where he kind of spoke, Mikey Stewart kind of made it out like, oh, are you happy that Penrice is away because it opens the door for you? And he shot him down almost to say, well, I wasn't happy anyway. Like, I didn't come here to sit on the bench. It's not my character. You know, I wanted to make my way into the team. It just so happens that it's happened in the sort of best way that you can, is that he's moved on for good money rather than, you know, dropping out of form or an injury or whatever, and I've capitalised. So it does look like we're in a good space with that. But yeah, James Penrice was a standout last season, wasn't he, Kev?
Well, I mean, clearly the fact that he got not only the fans player of the year, he also got the recognition from his own peers of being players player of the year as well. But it says a lot, you know, for a left back, it says a massive big, you know, achievement for him as an individual to actually come in to hit the ground running. We as fans probably were concerned that the left back position was going to become maybe a bit of a problem position, given that Cochrane had left at this time last season. However, he made that position his own, and, you know, done everything. The only thing that probably didn't get recognition from was at an international level. But for you, Corbett, and for myself, we're more than happy that he doesn't get recognised at that level. And we keep him and, you know, wrap him up, and he'd done everything that we wanted from a left back last year, if not more. And as I say, that was clearly recognised by the rest of the team by picking up the awards at the end of the season.
Aye. Seems to be a bit of a gold mine for us, left back. Hickey sold for money, Cochrane sold for money, now Penrice sold for money. So hopefully
Probably
Harry
the last
Milne's
3-7
next in line.
mid-digit fingers, actually. Yeah. I don't think there's any
Aye.
over $1 million before that. It's always left backs. That's mad.
So, but like I said, I thought Harry Milne played very, very well yesterday. It was obviously lower league opposition, first game of the season, but I thought he equipped himself last season very well at the end of the season as well. So yeah, it looks like we have a ready-made replacement for Penrice, which is class. So we've got Pierre Landry Cabor. He's the guy that's from ripping up in the Estonian league, looking to come in and play wide, probably in the position that we've seen Braga play yesterday. Again, I thought we'll talk about the game as well, but I thought he had some neat touches the opening game. But I thought McInnes' analysis of the game after was absolutely spot on. And again, to have someone in the dugout that's not an absolute slaver feeding us nonsense was so refreshing to hear a manager call it exactly how every other fan in the stadium seen it, which is really refreshing for us. And then Saba Karjota, I believe his name is, on his way as well. I think they could have potentially have been at the game yesterday as well. I think they were in the stand. They were in the stand yesterday, Kev.
Yep, that was my understanding. And I've just heard that Kenny Vargas arrived back in Edinburgh tonight. So probably somebody who we've not seen or not really thought of for a number of weeks, especially given the pre-season started 2-3 weeks ago now. So he's back. I know he's been playing for Costa Rica and not had an actual pre-season under his belt, but if he's been playing regularly, you would think that his fitness levels are where they need to be. You just need to embed him back into the team. But going back to the question you asked, Tam, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him go, if I'm being honest. McInnes has openly spoke about looking forward
He has.
to working with him. I don't think he'll maybe get a week or two off, given the fact that he has, unless he's just had his 2 weeks off, because I know that Costa Rica get knocked at the Gold Cup a bit back. But yeah, it's weird, and I don't know if other Hearts fans agree or disagree, but I'm at a point where actually, other than Shankland, realistically, I'm at a point where I'll trust the process if we sell anybody. We're at a point now yesterday where if you were going to look at it cynically, you're looking at Stephen Kingsley's come on, Craig Halkett's playing, Benny's still there, Devlin's still there, Alan Forrest is still getting a game. Like, the squad could do with being freshened up. It's not to say that those players aren't still good. I thought everybody offered something yesterday at some point. There was a lull, obviously. We'll talk in depth about how the game panned out. But I don't think I'd be shocked to hear, if Benny left, for example, if the club took the opportunity to take money on Benny, given his contract situation and his injury situations as well. Devlin, if money came in and money's right, it's going to be our life now. I've already stated on paper that I think Lauren Shankland will have an absolute monster season this season if he keeps himself fit. In terms of his goal return, I won't be surprised if come July of next transfer window of next season we punt him to Saudi Arabia for £6, £7, £8 million, because that is what the club will do. So, but we do need to see people to go, and I think we'll get pretty busy with that. It'll be a bit of a domino effect, I think. I think they're trying to get the squad the way he wants it. I think they're trying to get the players in, and then they'll start to let people go, rather than let people go and then not be able to get their targets in. I don't think they'll want to leave themselves short in that sense. And I think, Tam, you're right. I think we'll see quite a lot of the young guys go and out on loan just to get a bit more exposure. Cool. Any other Hearts gossip kicking a bit?
Not really. No. I suppose we've got the night with Derek McInnes and the night coming up with Bloom in a few weeks. But seemed to be, again, exactly what you just said about the post-match interview with McInnes. I think he said everything the fans wanted. Was realistic, got everyone a bit excited, and that's exactly what you want for your managers, to be honest.
I've told you before, you've got a manager that's genuinely enthusiastic to be here. He seems absolutely buzzing to be here. He is buzzing to have the pressure on his shoulders. He looks like he thrives on it, like he wants more, and I love that about him. He had some funny sound bites as well. He's got a personality. I can't remember the last time the manager had a bit of personality about him. The last have been fucking wet flannels. Absolutely. Personality drains, man, whenever you talk to them. Trying so hard. And don't get me wrong, like Robbie and Naismith in particular fell into that young manager trap of trying to make it, have to sound like they're so intelligent about football all the time, and constantly having to show their credentials off that they understand the game, versus a seasoned pro that's been there, done that, got the t-shirt, knows exactly how the games go, exactly how things are going to pan out. I even again got to Harry Millen's post-match interview yesterday. Said one of the first things Derek McInnes said in the team talk was, "This isn't going to be perfect. You're not going to, you're going to make stray passes, you're going to have bad touches, you're going to drop out the game. The important thing's winning. That's what the important thing is right now, is to win the game. Don't worry about trying to be perfect. We're so far away from being perfect, so don't even attempt it." And you think, like, that must be so refreshing and reassuring as a player, that you don't have a manager putting ridiculous demands on you. You have a very simple message, which is win. So the next Foundation of Hearts night is with Tony Bloom himself. That'll be very much like the Derek McInnes night, I believe. It'll sell it pretty much instantly. Kev, you said There's live streams and all that stuff for it this time, though.
I still believe. I think it's Sunday, the 3rd of August. So that'll be what is that the night before we play Aberdeen then? I guess
Must be.
Must be,
must be that night. So the night before we play Aberdeen in Gorgie Suite will be the session with 90 minutes with Tony Bloom. As I say, as you just said, tickets will go pretty quickly, I would expect. I think there'll be a number of people interested in that one, but I believe it's going to be live streamed as well, given probably how many folk wanted to attend Dell's session 2 weeks ago. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same kind of want for people to get to know Tony Bloom a little bit better, what's his real drives, and set some interesting questions, no doubt, towards him. Hopefully they'll filter out the absolute loonies that we sometimes have at these sessions.
Yeah.
But then again, probably not.
Right. We know the crowd. We know who we're talking about. Right, okay, cool. I don't think there's anything else greatly pressing in the world of Heart of Midlothian. I don't think Lauren Shankland had actually signed the contract the last time we podcast. I think it was pretty much done and dusted, but I don't think it was signed, sealed, and delivered.
Nah, he got on the plane that night or something, but that was about it.
Aye. Well, that showed. Maybe we'll get some inside information as to how that all panned out for Mr. Shankland. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. A 200 episode special coming up soon, maybe. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe.
Let's just wait and see what happens.
Let's just wait and see what happens, Kev. That's true. Let's just wait and see what happens. We can
Nice.
maybe ask him why he said banana. What was that all about?
I wish you'd went with proper full fry up. Thanks very much. Cheers.
I know we could ask him why he hates us so much and why he loves Rangers so much and why he's so fat and why did they hate everybody last year and why did the players hate him and all the usual kick facts that we've seen kicking about on Heart's social medias. But let's watch this space. Right, enough talking rubbish. Saturday, 5:15 kickoff. We opened our season campaign with, on paper, a very comfortable victory against Popcorn Teeth, Mutant, Ninja Turtle, Neil Lennon's Dunfermline. Kev, we obviously had a few refreshments before the game of the Ardmillan. What was your thoughts pre-game heading to Tynecastle? Other than it's roasting?
Other than it's roasting. I mean, I never thought on any time in the past X amount of years that I would actually be buzzing the night before a League Cup group match against Dunfermline. However, on Friday night, I couldn't wait for the Saturday. Getting back to the football, meeting up with the boys, some of them who I've not seen since the end of last season. So it was good just to catch up, get back to sort of normality as such. And from that side of things, I was looking forward to it. I probably expected to see a few more of the sort of newer, or not the new signings being involved with the game yesterday from the start. And I know we'll come on and speak about it. Probably one player playing in a position that I didn't expect him to be playing, but there you go.
Yeah, to be honest with you, get used to this for the season as it goes, because it's every single week will be a love-in for Derek McInnes. But I seen it as an experienced manager that understands we lose yesterday and the mood music of the season can change almost immediately. Look at what's happened to Dundee. Look what happened to Motherwell. I think
Dundee?
very unfortunately got beat.
Oh, did they? Oh, what a shame.
I was really hoping their manager would do quite well. I quite like that guy, do you know? Do we not like that guy?
Aye. Oh, shit, that's a shame.
I can't remember what he's called. I'm sure he's done nothing to ever wrong us in the past, but I'm sure we can talk about that when we come to face Dundee at some point. But I seen it as an experienced manager. Just one, you could chuck the players, new guys, under the bus. They could go out and falter, and you know what we're like as a fan base, they'll be rubbish from that point onwards. We'll dislike them. So I wasn't surprised to see only 2 debutants, if that's what you want to call them, in the starting 11. I think I agree with Kev. The only kind of shock surprise was McInnes moving to the right back position, given that he has kind of been the box to box blood and thunder midfieldery guy that we thought we were going to get. But again, listen to the manager after the game. The right back, Borg, or whatever you called him. Was it called Berkovic or something? Bergonovic or something?
Borg.
Some of that.
Borg. I'm reading it. I can't even say it.
No, I was reading it today, but we get slaughtered for getting the names wrong.
Borgskriving or something. There you go. Borgskriving.
That sounds decent. I'll give you that, Tom.
Okay, I don't even know if the stadium announcer even said his name when he came on.
Mate, he can't even say Hearts right, so let's be honest. He's not got any chance of getting in right.
Number 12. But I think Derek McInnes had explained that he'd get a knock in maybe the East Kilbride game, whatever it was, so it made sense. But Kev, you're right. I don't know if I'm excited. I don't know if that's the right word for a 40-year-old man to be about football. I'm comfortable. That sounds really mental, but I'm comfortable. I don't care about starting 11s. I don't care about formations. I don't care about anything like that because we've got a manager. We've got an actual football manager. I'll trust him until he does it to the point where we don't trust him or he loses our trust. There'll be no punts. There'll be no gambles. Not only is he a manager, he's an experienced manager that knows our league. He knows what we're going to come up against. He knows the other types of managers. He knows what the type of players we'll play against. He knows all that stuff. So I'm comfortable. And yesterday, going to the game, I was I didn't think any part of me that Hearts were going to lose yesterday. I don't think Hearts will lose a game in the League Cup group stages. If you want my wild take, I don't think Hearts will lose a game. So yesterday was good, and it was nice to go to a Hearts game, and there was a buzz about the place for it being a League Cup game. Dunfermline brought a decent crowd. To be fair, it was a pretty healthy crowd, and Hearts did the right thing in the way they sold the tickets as well. Made sure the main stand was full, made sure the Gorgie was full, and then started selling the Wheatfield rather than have 10,000 spread between the 3 stands. So it made for a decent atmosphere, which was good. And to be fair, I like the kit as well. I'm not a fan of the kit when you see it on the hanger, but actually when it's on, it looks decent. I like it. So I was looking forward to go to Tynecastle. It was fun. Right, the game. We should have been 1-0 up after 45 seconds. From the minute he signed the contract, Derek McInnes has said that he wants to be George Burley's blood and thunder, opening 10, 15 minutes, kill teams, get at teams, and that's exactly what we delivered. We should have been 1-0 up after 45 seconds, straight from kickoff of keeping the ball, and then we went long. Shankland flicked it on, won the header into Forrest. Forrest cut it back, and the ball was just a wee bit too behind Shankland. But that would have been some opening, Kev.
Aye. Even take it further than that. I know we scored after 3 minutes with Shankland's shot coming off the post, and Wilson was just in the right space, right place to put the ball in the net. But that first 15 minutes, as you've said, was blood and thunder. It was, we were at them. Players were, the passing and movement that you were seeing with the players was something we've not seen for a number of seasons. How many times have we seen a pass being made, but then the actual player just stands still? He's just like, I've not, that's my responsibility taken care of. I've passed on to somebody else. Whereas yesterday you were seeing Wilson come in, Shankland come in, Braga come in for it, laying it off, then going and finding further space. making themselves available for another pass. And that's the kind of stuff that we've all been saying for, God knows how many seasons, is what's been missing. Getting beyond, another player to make space. So it was great to see that. And yeah, if we had scored after 45 seconds, there'd be a number of people who would have probably been already wanting their Paddy Power, Ladbrokes bets to come in.
Yeah. And we nearly scored after 45 seconds. The ball's just a slight bit behind Shankland, and I think Shankland tries to do the keeper and thinking that he'll try and put it into the far left, but tries to put it back across. The keeper just doesn't connect with it right. Then I felt we actually had a fairly decent shout for a penalty. I think it's one of those ones that I think we got 3 in a row with Penrice got against them last season in the league. It was a turning shot from Shankland. Defender was there, but literally from that play, I believe we score. And we score from everything that was good about Hearts in the opening. I said until the water break, when we broke for the first water break, it killed the momentum in the game. Gave Dunfermline the opportunity to reshuffle, to get a bit of tactics onto the pitch, gave them a breather from where we were, because we were all over them like a rash. We were, like you said, we were passing it about when we needed to. We were going long when we wanted to. Braga, Shankland, Wilson rotating. The only negative, if it even is a negative, is that you could tell that McInnes not a right back. When you look at what we were trying to get Milne to do, Milne and Braga down one side, we weren't getting the same combination play with Forrest and McInnes on the right. McInnes, you could tell, was a midfielder playing as a right back because he pretty much always went backwards or sideways. He barely wanted to take his man on, which is fair enough. It's not his role, but he kind of came inside quite a bit, and it became really easy for Dunfermline to, try and press us to push us over to that right hand side because they were dealing with what was going down that side. But opening goal summed up everything good about Hearts. We obviously don't let Dunfermline settle. We harry them into trying to clear the ball. Milne stops the clearance. Again, we were hunting Dunfermline down in packs. 2s and 3s were going and pressing and winning the ball back immediately. And again, Harry Milne after the game said that was tactic from McInnes from the start, was to go win the ball back high up the pitch, put them in areas of the pitch they don't want to be and win the ball back. Shankland gets the ball. And again, everything that we love about Lauren Shankland, as soon as he gets the ball, he's 25 yards for goal on the touchline and thinks, I'm scoring. And that's the Lauren Shankland that we want and have missed for ages. And it sounds daft. He clearly has freedom to shoot, whereas maybe last season we were more of shooting gives the ball away if we don't score. Put it out wide, keep possession rather than try a Hail Mary type thing. One thing in Shankland's mind: got the ball, drove for goal, beats the keeper, hits the inside of the post, and James Wilson's movement and reaction time scores. And it was great to see Wilson score, Kev, win it, because he's a guy that I think everybody's got huge hopes for this season. The manager has spoke highly of him, and to score after 3 minutes to open his account for the season is great for the young guy, isn't
it? It sure is. It's I think there's probably a number of people maybe thought with some of the players that have came in, Braga being, Shankland rejoining, whatever you want to call that. There's not maybe a number of people who thought that maybe Wilson would get pushed a little bit further down the pecking order, but that's not been McInnes' thoughts. I would say that Wilson's probably at the forefront of a lot of the things that he wants to do, and that's evident by him bringing in, looking to bring in wingers with pace that'll match Wilson's sort of understanding in the runs that he actually makes, which will be great for him and great for the club overall. So I think that him getting off to such a flyer, and we all know that there's other players in the past that maybe have taken 5-10 games before they even get their first goal of a season, and it's sort of hampered them. we've seen that with Shankland just last season. You know, he got one against, was it Ross County or something like that, and you thought that was going to be him. That'll, you know, kickstart the full goals coming along, but it never ever happened for him. But for Wilson, it was ideal. 3 minutes in, back of the net. There we go. Thanks very much. I've done what I need to do. It puts him in a great light for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows you that, you know, Dunfermline follow the ball, and he's alert to the rebound. He doesn't drift in chasing the ball or whatever. He kind of has an idea as to where it could be, puts himself in a great position, and it's a tidy finish as well for a difficult opportunity.
He probably actually expected it more to go in than actually to come back off the post.
Yeah, fair. But like you said, I think Dunfermline followed the ball. He stopped, and obviously he gets the reward for what he done. And then that kind of kicked Hearts on. We were, like I said, all over. Dunfermline very, very comfortable in the game. Then the water break. I know I don't want to keep stressing it or whatever, but the water break, it sucked the life out of the game for both teams. We gave Dunfermline the opportunity to reassess and get back into shape and take a breather and maybe get some tactics onto the pitch. And then from that point, it became, you know, a typical sort of pre-season friendly, almost. We had loads and loads of possession without really carving them open. But to be honest with you, I don't know if we were. There were points last season when we had loads and loads of possession, but you could tell that we had absolutely no idea what we were doing with it. Here you could see that they were kind of comfortable and just keeping the ball, knowing that actually we keep doing what we're doing, keep getting them in areas of the park, will create chances. And this is going to sound mental because this is what football is. And if, you know, your auntie had balls and all that stuff, if Dunfermline don't score, I honestly don't think they would have. They didn't cause us any problems whatsoever. First half, they've capitalised on a mistake and they've scored. And again, I can understand people's gripes of saying, but that was last season as well. You know, we create chances and don't score, and then the first opportunity the opposition have, they take their chance and they score. And again, actually, when you look at how the play develops, the couple of phases before, you have McInnes on the ball, comes inside because he doesn't want to go down the outside. We play back, passes back, and we lose the ball, and it's just sloppy from Hearts. It's really poor from Benny. Excuse me. I'd literally just been saying to the guys next to me that the guy for work was like, Benny never loses the ball. And I was like, I know. He's like, he's unbelievable for it. He never loses the ball. And he loses the ball. And we conceded. And to be honest with you, we gave Craig Gordon absolutely pelters for some of the stuff last season that I don't think Xander Clark should be getting beat for there, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't know if he sees it late. I don't know if it's because it goes through Kent's legs or whatever, but I don't think it's an absolute thunderous strike into the bottom. It doesn't go right into the bottom corner. I think it's just a sloppy goal all round. Kev, is that fair, or what was your take on the game up to that point?
I think you're right. I mean, at no point had we felt like we were ever under any pressure from Dunfermline. I think, in all honesty, they were chasing shadows for a lot of that. A lot of the game. The mistake is unfortunate. I think that's all you can say. I was at the opposite end of the main stand from yourself, and from the angle I was at, it genuinely looked like Clark just got flat-footed. However, in seeing it back, I can see maybe why he sort of got caught. He's what you'd be classed as his near post down that what is his right hand side. So I can understand it from that point. But even in the second half, I don't think we really got out of second gear, if I'm being truthfully honest with you. After that water break, I think we just sort of fell back a little bit on our heels, and weren't on the front foot like we had been for the first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then in contrast to that, you get nervousness where you're at, and the manager spoke about that after the game. Folks stopped being brave on the ball, started to take safe options, something that he doesn't want to see. It's not how he wants to play, especially at Tynecastle. He wants us to be braver without being stupid on it. And again, after the second water break, we kind of came to life a bit. The subs helped massively in terms of, again, not even so much from like a tactical perspective or whatever, but just impetus and fresh legs on the park gave us the opportunity to, get the tempo up again, get the intensity up again, because it got really stuffy and a bit sloppy. And that bit in Dunfermline they started to win a few of the battles in the middle of the park. I thought their number 6 had a very good game for Dunfermline. Otto, I think he was called, potentially. Thought he played very well, and I actually quite liked the guy that scored the goal, Cooper. I think he had a very good game, considering he was playing up there by himself. But then we grew into the game again, and teams make mistakes. I think Derek McInnes called it right. I think it was maybe the first time in the game where they actually felt like they could go on and win the game. They started to get a bit more, either us inviting them onto us so that we could counter on them, or if they just did get a wee bit more sort of, right, the game plan was to stay in the game for 70, 75 minutes and then throw everything at them for the last 15. But as soon as the game opened up a little bit, became less tactical, more end-to-end, we started to create chances, and then we get the penalty through the type of play that we'd seen before. We put them under pressure. It's a mistake from the Dunfermline defender and then a mistake from the goalkeeper, obviously, as well. It's hard to tell if it was loads and loads of contact, but you could kind of tell by the Dunfermline players' reactions and everybody else's reactions that it probably was a penalty. I know there was no VAR, but I couldn't have seen it getting overturned. You had the better view of it, Kev. What was your thoughts?
So from my point of view, I think you're right. I think there's minimal contact, but I think there's enough of contact because the fact that Forrest is actually at pace, trying to go, to the keeper's left, or to his left, keeper's right. But it was never going to get overturned. The only player I think inside the whole stadium that thought, or the only person inside the whole stadium that thought it would be overturned was the actual keeper. And when the keeper's trying to give it, no, I've no touched him. 9 times out of 10, you have touched him. You know perfectly well. You've committed the foul. But you'll be pleased to know, Corbett, I never watched either penalty.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, that's fine. We're still going to continue that for the rest of the season.
I won't break my tradition. Again,
do you know we scored the one?
What was that?
Do you know we scored the penalties?
Yeah. If anything, you have a tick list of things you want to happen yesterday. Top of the list is Neil Lennon in tears. Right, tick that off, and we'll talk about that in a minute. That's class. Then you want Hearts to win, and I think everybody would have had on their list of the top things they wanted was for Lauren Shankland to score, and for him to get 2. Yeah, they're 2 penalties, but he's missed his last couple of penalties for Hearts, and to go in the first competitive game of the season and score twice, like, he's going to be absolutely flying with that. And you heard him speak about wanting to be here and how happy he is to be here and his own ambitions now that he's here. It's everything about Lauren Shankland is better when Lauren Shankland scored. So for him to have 2, and they're 2 brilliantly placed penalties in that as well. He's the only one in the team really that he takes a nonchalant run up, waits for the keeper to move, and then puts it the other side. And the interesting thing, Kevin, the thing I liked the most about the game yesterday was that Lawrence Shankland was playing in the position that we all want Lawrence Shankland to play. He was the focal point of everything that Hearts did, and he hits the post for the first goal to make it 1-0, scores 2 penalties to put us comfortable in the lead, and then obviously goes off to a standing ovation. That's the Lawrence Shankland that we need and want to see this season, isn't it?
Yeah, and let's also look at the way in which he played in the first 20 minutes of the game as well. Coming deep, taking the ball, looking, taking it on the half turn, making passes, doing the kind of stuff that we expect him to do. Maybe didn't get the same kind of level of pressure put on him that he will get in other games in the Premier League, but he's got a little bit to get under his belt, i.e., the fitness levels. So yesterday was an ideal day for him. It was great from the point of view, as you rightly say, of the things you want to see. And I think what you'll also see is, as he does get more minutes in the legs and all that plus working alongside Braga, working alongside the other new guys in the team, start to develop these kind of relationships, getting to understand the runs that each other makes, can only be beneficial for all in that situation.
The thing that goes unnoticed, and I felt that it's always went unnoticed with Shankland, is how much he talks to everybody around about him. He absolutely destroyed McInnes in the first half because McInnes turned inside and put it back into like Halkett or Kent, and he'd obviously made the run and he went bananas at him, and then McInnes went out and went bananas at him as well. And then there was a point in the first half too where Harry Milne had the opportunity to put the ball into the box. He never dilly-dallied and then eventually launched a shot into the stand, and Shankland ran about 30 yards to absolutely tear a strip off him for not putting the ball in the box. He was talking to Alan Forrest all the time. And to be honest with you, if Alan Forrest could stop being Alan Forrest at points, Shankland would have had 2 assists because he set up Alan Forrest for 2 unbelievable chances in the first half that he never took. So his all-round game is everything that's good about Hearts will be good from Lawrence Shankland, and it was class to see him actually get some goals, which was good to see. And I don't know how many times in his career he's been subbed off and replaced by a left back. that did make me laugh. He brought him off and brought on a left back, who then goes on to score an absolute worldie, which was class to see. So, should we talk about Stephen Kingsley's worldie, or should we just go straight to the fact that if we'd played for 5 minutes longer, Neil Lennon would have turned into an aeroplane again? He had lost the plot, man. He's a helmet, isn't he? He's an absolute helmet.
Right. You're not going to get this from me at any other time, but I will say this. He took pelters yesterday, absolute pelters, but when Dunfermline scored, he did give pelters back. So I will give him sort of a tip of the hat for that kind of shit. Don't get me wrong. However, he's still a helmet.
But I don't mind that, Kev. That's my gripe with him all the time, is if he takes it, then he's absolutely entitled to give it back, and I enjoy that. But then he greets and moans that he's the victim, and I'm like, right, sound, you scored, and we're like that into the crowd, and then when we were singing that, you were pretending to lift trophies that you didn't win with Dunfermline, you absolute helmet, as if anybody could. But I did enjoy the 10,000, 11,000 Hearts fans serenading him, letting him know that he is indeed a wanker, which made me happy and smile. Like I said, you also had like 15 layers on, which I was like, what are you doing?
That's weird.
You look like an absolute spud, you look like a baked tatty. Honestly, you look like baked tatty with Coronation chicken on it, or whatever you call it. Just absolutely reeking a plaque on his teeth. Wee mink. Anyway. But that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was also on my list of things. That was at the top of my list of things that I wanted to happen at Tynecastle yesterday. Was Neil Lennon in absolute tears, and we got it. And if we'd went 5 minutes longer, he would have been an aeroplane and went missing for 2 days again, like what happened when Lafferty and Naismith scored in the derby. Remember, he went missing for like 3 days.
That's mad.
Remember? And then he showed back up and was an aeroplane for the last game of the season.
Oh, wow. Aye.
Yeah, he's some boy, like. And that was fun. Anything else stick out in the game for you, Kev?
Not really stick out, but one thing is the couple of substitutions we did make with Cabangu coming on. He just gives you something different. I think it goes missing sometimes in regards to some of the changes. You and I have said it a number of times that you have a double substitution or treble substitution can sometimes just kill the game. I thought the substitutions that McInnes made yesterday were made at the right point to actually give another bit of a push and a boost into the legs. So I was glad to see that kind of positive change happening in the game rather than as we have done over the past few seasons. We've seen take off a striker to put on a centre half or whatever. So it was nice to see that, and as that probably allowed us to, definitely got us the third or the second penalty, third goal, because Cabangu I thought looked good yesterday.
Yeah, it's a pace is going to be a big thing for Hearts. I believe in. People need to not mistake being direct with hoofball, because there were points yesterday where we played some really intricate, nice football, but there were points where we absolutely hit the channel. And how often have we spoke about that? That's what's needed. That's what football is. If something's not working, try something different or keep them on their toes. I think when the game became quite stuffy was when we become so predictable. We went back to some of the stuff that we'd seen, the safe options last year, and that's that where you can go down the line. And I believe the only reason that it got like that was because we had a makeshift right back. We weren't like that down the left hand side, but we were being pushed onto the right hand side every single time. And you've got a midfielder playing right back. He was always going to take the safe option and not be the guy that cost the goal or did anything daft. It was his debut for Hearts as well, and he's playing out of position, so I can get that. So all in all, the scoreline probably flattered Hearts in the end, but because it's Neil Lennon, it should have been 5, and I'm absolutely delighted that we ruined his evening, and hopefully we ruin the rest of his season. He remembers the time he gets scudded. I think that's last thought I would say was I never realised. So I work with a guy, Reese, and he says he's a Dunfermline fan, but he's always wearing green and white. He's always got all that stuff on. He's always got so many Celtic-minded views on the world. I just thought it was him, but actually yesterday with the songbook for Dunfermline, I never realised that Dunfermline were so Celtic-minded. So Dunfermline have made my list. I now no longer like Dunfermline. I don't know why, but there you go.
You've been texting Rab all day as well.
I did text Big Rab, but he never texted me back, so it's another Celtic thing today, isn't it?
That's a shame. How is Big Rab in the Hillfield?
I know, that's why I messaged
Maybe
him.
he's going away for 3 days as well.
I don't have WhatsApp anymore. I'm not getting any pals because I don't have WhatsApp. Cool. So next up, Hamilton at Clyde Stadium.
Where is Clyde Stadium?
Is that Broadwood, is it?
Clyde.
What they call
Is it Cumbernauld or something, is it?
Is it Broadwood or something? Is that what it's called?
Aye. Believe so. Believe that's what it is.
Aye, Cumbernauld, sorry. There you go.
Right,
I was in it for an under-21 game or something like that way back before COVID.
Classmate.
When you actually had under-21 games. Aye, but I'm just meaning that it's absolutely none. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks. Any other interesting stories you want to share with the group, Kev? Right. Well, let's just do predictions. Let's do predictions. Hamilton versus Heart of Midlothian Tuesday night. Thomas, what's the score going to be?
I don't even know anything about Hamilton anymore. They're League One now, aren't they? They got relegated. Aye.
They got relegated. They got a points deduction, didn't they?
Yes, so they did. That's why they probably not got a stadium
Scott
anymore.
Robinson plays for them.
So he
I
does.
believe
So does
Wade. So
Smith.
does
used to be
Connor
in.
Smith. So
Um,
does Ewan Henderson.
So on the base of that, it'll be 7-0 Hearts. No. Nah, I think it will be. I think we'll win 4-0.
Okay. Kevin?
Yeah, I would be thinking somewhere along the lines of that. Because we think it'll be 4-0, I'll just go with 2-0.
I'll go 6-0 then.
Sweet.
I was going to say 8, but I was like, we already beat East Kilbride 8. Let's be modest and say 6. 6, I think. I think we'll ring the changes, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think you'll see. I'll be shocked if I see like Shankland and stuff like that start, unless the game plan will be put 45 minutes extra on the legs for Shankland and then take him off at half time if we're winning, etc. But you'll probably see some of the other boys, maybe Elton will get a game up front, because again, these are competitive pre-season matches for us. We should be doing the business, and to be honest with you, with the teams that are remaining, we're pretty much all but through already. So
that realistically was the hardest game on Saturday.
That was the hardest game. Yeah, that was the hardest game, and it sets the tone. You can see some of the other Premiership sides slipped up, so I think Hearts did the right thing, which is treat it the right way. And I don't think we'll be unprofessional on Tuesday, but I think we'll take the opportunity to play some of the new guys and give some of the other guys a bit of a rest so that they can be ready for the season. So cool. Right. Well, we'll podcast next Sunday. So we'll have 2 games to talk about. Unless anything absolutely mental happens between now and that, we'll see you again next Sunday.
You want to predict for Saturday against Stirling?
8-0.
Repeat ours, what we said, 4-0 again.
No.
Who are we playing? Stirling Albion?
Stirling Albion, aye.
They've got a weird stadium, don't they?
It's on like the outskirts of Stirling.
Stirling?
Yeah. I couldn't think of the name there.
I can imagine that, Tam. Oh, man. But to be fair, we're playing Hamilton in
Cumbernauld.
So it was not that mad a world that we live in where that could be a bit crazy. But okay, aye, 6-0. We'll win 6-0 on Tuesday, 6-0 on Saturday, and 10-0 against Dumbarton at Tynecastle.
Class, we'll see you there.
Shankland is scoring all of them, so he'll be on 24 goals by the time the season starts.
Well, that'll be it'll only be 6 off 100. Well, that's mad.
It'll only be 6 off 100. Then who knows? Maybe he's got to 100 by the time the 200 episode comes out, and we could have something to talk about. Right. I'll see you all next week.
Excellent.
Catch you later.
Corrier Rose.